Welcome to Beyond the Hustle, the podcast where real stories live. We go beyond the highlight reels and bring you bold, raw, and revealing conversations with entrepreneurs who have hit rock bottom and come back up again. Because you see, behind every successful business lies a story of risk, resilience, and sometimes real failure. This is where we unpack the missteps, the missed chances, the mess-ups that became powerful lessons and stories of success. So if you are looking to build something big, if you are dreaming of setting up a business, or just tired of faking it till you make it, this is your space and this is your show. Here we have real founders, real failures, and real fuel for your journey. Come on, let's go beyond the hustle. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the Hustle. And as usual, we're going to learn a lot today. My guest today is Dr. David Kelvin Amoo-Osae, and I'll let him introduce himself. David, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Boahemaa. My name is David Kelvin Amoo-Osae Jnr. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the House Group, made up of Movie House, Charity House, and Resort House. I also travel the world to speak. I speak on a lot of topics, mostly doing business in Africa, and then the art of word creating through concept of tithing and giving from a business perspective. So that's what I do mostly, yeah.
Wow, entrepreneurship, we all know, is not for the faint-hearted. At what point in your journey did you realize that I want to be an entrepreneur? Have you always been an entrepreneur? Have you worked somewhere? Why did you decide you want to do your own stuff?
Okay, this is really an interesting one. I don't think I ever had thoughts of being an entrepreneur. I think it might happen by circumstances, situation. So my dad was a building contractor. My mom was a nurse. So I see my mother going to work, coming every day. My father goes to work and come back anytime he wants. And of course, we all knew that father had money, my mother was poor. That's how as kids. So nobody wanted to do a 9 to 5 kind of job. But I think mine happened several circumstances. So let me start this way. There's something called power of words. So my father has this very interesting thing where from childhood he has a way of telling me some stories, embellish drama and all those things. So he has this thing where he keeps telling me that his whole life depends on me. If I grow up and I don't make as much money as he did, then he will never be able to be called an ancestor. Even when he dies, he'll be tossing his grave. And if I make money just as like what he had, then he can sleep well. But that way he can't even snore because he's not sleeping well. But if I'm able to make more money than him and my life is way better, then he qualified to be an ancestor. And then when he goes, he creates a path for us that more, so at the back of my mind. And then something happened when running school or whatever. It affected us because we were quite rich. We were living a very wealthy life. And then overnight, our lives changed. And then I have 3 big sisters. So when I was growing up, I'm David Amoo-Osae Jnr. My father put that in my head. You're the son, you're the leader. So when my father had to leave the country to Namibia for almost 8 years. It was a difficult time living in your own house. You had security, police, soldiers, all of a sudden you moved to Accra, family house. It was a real dramatic change for her. And I remember how my mother said, and again, powerful words. She called all of us and said, "Look, you are a junior. My husband is not here. Our father is also. From today, you are the father, you are the husband, you are the one I look up to. You must start acting responsibly." And I think from that very instant, everything changed. As to everything I see, I look at the opportunity bit of what do I make out of it. And I think that gave me a deeper insight of people who see CAP. The first thing I say, how do I make money from this CAP? So for me, I think it was circumstantial.
Yeah.
And then it made me very aggressive. And then I started looking at things people don't look at. And then one thing also really affected the concept of marketing. Marketing means find what people want. Once you know what they want, give it to them. And when they are happy, they will come back to you again. So I was looking at what are the things that I can always do to let people always want to come back to me. My first experience, every day I joke with it. So in Legon, My sister was a nursing officer at Koforidi. I went to visit her, and I saw a lot of condoms, boxes, and I'm like, what are you doing with this one? I said, oh, we give it out for free. And then it struck me, for free. And like I said, everything I look at it. And I know in my whole commoto, it's a boys thing. Everybody wants to buy a condom, but everybody is afraid or shy to buy a condom. And I remember there was this people who come, they wear blue, they come and sit in front of the hall to sell, and then people even buy it in the evening and all this. So I'm like, okay. So I took a whole box, came to, and I was going room to room. And even for me, I used to wear a baseball cap. Room to room, and within one day, the sales I made was so shocking.
Well, that's Vandal City for sure.
Look, I stopped lectures for like 2 weeks. Koforidi, Accra.
Yeah, so David, I was going to ask you. You see, a lot of us entrepreneurs, almost everything starts as a hustle, because with the benefit of hindsight, I don't think you sat and said, "Let me draw a plan. How is this?" and all of that. All the other businesses you've done. At which point did you realize, this is more than a hustle? I need to pay attention to it. What was the decider for you? Which of your businesses, which ones have you tried that you felt this can be a business and not just a hustle?
Okay, let me answer it in a different way. And again, my father used to tell me, education puts food on the table. But your passion, what you are passionate about, hobby, will make you a millionaire.
Yeah.
So you have to go to school, no two ways about that. Even that one, it was later on that I actually appreciated the essence and importance of education in later life. And then when I was growing up again, I have 3 big sisters. One way my father was separating me from playing with my siblings was watching movies or storybooks. He would give me a book to read and we had to discuss. Or he went to China, got this movie, that thing that he projects. So I watched the whole movie and I write the whole story for him. So growing up, I never enjoyed watching with everybody. I want to watch movie by myself. And later on, that became the foundation of the business I have. So once you are passionate about something, it ceases to be work. It becomes fun. And when it's fun, you enjoy doing. The more you enjoy doing something. So it's difficult for me to say that, look, there was one thing. I think mine was circumstance. It happened.
Yeah.
I needed to make money.
Yeah.
And then I got an idea. I started it. In fact, I think I started right after school. I started doing something I call aero promotion. So I was doing more events, party. Now, if you may remember, I think that's how we became friends. We did a VV Alliance. Yeah. You were the vice president, and I organized it. And when I was thinking more about making money.
Yeah.
And then it became, so right after school, I started doing all those things. And then it became a way of life. And then I started taking it.
With your movie house business or the house group, what exactly would you say, with the benefit of hindsight, what do you think you could have done differently from the beginning? I know it's successful, but I also know there have been challenges. From the get-go, if you had information like you have now, what would you have done differently?
Okay. I've done that, but the concept of what people call customer service or customer is king, customer is always right. Personally, forgive me, but I think it's the most useless concept ever. It is, you say customers created that theory to become important in your business. But for business owner, there's another concept that upon hindsight, if I had known, I would have. It's called employee is king. So when I started, I was focusing more on making customers happy at the detriment of my staff. I scream at my staff because customers complain. And I realized that, look, customers will do anything just for their selfish interest. Yeah. And I think I felt because I lost a lot of good quality managers that probably would have changed my business if I paid attention to it.
You heard it here first. Employee is king. If your employees are happy, they would make your customers happy.
Actually, I have a concept, a theory for that. I can just demonstrate briefly. So for me personally, as a business owner, I don't care about customers. I only care about customers twice in a year. Beginning of the year, when I'm drawing strategies to make them happy. And then end of the year to review whether the strategies work to make them happy. But then there's what I call the employee scheme. So once I find out what the strategies are, employees are being paid to manage the process to make the customer happy.
Yeah.
So there's the business on one side, the customers at the other side, then the middle is where you have employees managing the process. So what you try to do is to make sure that your processes are foolproof, ultimately geared towards making the customer happy. Employees are being paid salaries to manage the process. So that alone should make them happy. So later on, I ask myself, what do I do to make my employees more happy so they will more happily manage the process to make them customer extra happy.
Okay.
Maybe give them lunch and breakfast. Then I ask them, what do you do to make them extra happy? So that they will extra happily manage, so that the customer will be extra
happy.
So you keep on adding, and I realize that the more you make your employees happy, the customer doesn't worry, because when the customer has a problem, the employees will deal with it. But if employees are not happy, when there's a problem, the customer, they run straight to management. And I got to know this thing very late. And it hurts me that I didn't know this thing years back. Because I think wherever I'm in life, in business, I would have.
Let me put you on the spot. I think sometimes you shared something with me about how a customer can complain. And whilst the customer is there, you share that story again. I found it so, like this guy is
okay,
something else.
So you see, some of my staff, I don't know what, but then I tell them that, look, so I have a system where in every room you have my number for customer complaints called the chief executive. Sometimes you do this for employees to feel very good. Sorry, for customers to feel good
that they can reach you.
Again, another thing is that they are constantly giving me feedback, so I know what is going on. You have about 420 employees. You have like 20 branches. We have something called leadership and remote control. These are the things you use to manage, know what is going on at any time. So, and I tell my managers, some complaints from customers, I know what the problem is. Sometimes maybe it's an instruction for even me. I'll be like, really? She said that? Jesus Christ, so head off. I'm so sorry. You know what? I take the blame. I'm ultimately, and the customer is very good. They are very happy. Sometimes too, I just call them and say, look, I'm going to call you and blast you. Behave like. So I call.
Behave like you are being blasted.
I say, how can you do this? Please say sorry to the manager, to the customer. Oh, please, I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, boss. They will even start pleading for my staff. Oh, boss. I said, no, and I say, yeah, it's wrong enough. How can they treat you like that? They leave very happy. And then sometimes my employer will say, boss, this one, you went overboard. I say, okay, I'm sorry. What do I say? Then I'll find some money for him. And then we all move on. So it's a win-win thing.
Yeah.
Some of the issues, they are real issues, I know.
Yeah.
When customers are, you know that these are genuine. And then I just don't take the complaint. We take it and then we find a solution and then we add it to the processes. We actually have a system where last Friday of every month we just go out and ask customers what are the problems. We're not interested in the positives. I'm always interested in the negatives. So once we correct it, now sometimes a lot of employees and companies, they are only interested in the positive. I think that makes you weak. Focus more on the weakness, correct them, and be perfect. And then, when you ask, there will be problems and problems. But now when you ask, customers even struggle to find a problem, which means that we are doing something right. So these are some of the things.
One of the reasons for hosting this show or bringing you this show is to try and embrace as a people, a culture, the concept of failure. A lot of people struggle with failure, but as an entrepreneur, I've been there, done that, and I know that failure is a part of the journey. And so I want you to share with me all the things that you've done. I believe that there's been one business that has been a monumental failure, and you struggle to pick yourself up and dust yourself and keep moving. Share that experience with us, and what lessons you learned from that experience.
So I see things differently. I've been asked the same question several times. And every time, this my answer. I don't remember failing. I don't even want to see I fail. I don't even want to think I fail for something to. Of course, we go through things. There was a business that I thought was a gold business. Honestly, I thought this was my biggest breakthrough. I thought I did all the checks. Are you getting it? But then that's when I learned the word called assume. Sometimes we assume too much. And because of that, I have this thing where I will check, I will double check, and then cross-check the double-check, and then double-check the cross-check. So I have a plan A, plan B, plan C. I don't want to dwell too much on failures because, like I say, look, we fail all the time. Sometimes I feel that when people accept that they have failed, it kind of pushes them. There are some people it motivates, there are some people it brings them down. But for me, I see it, I call it setback. Just a break. Ask yourself, what did I do? And I tell people all the time that anytime something, the first you ask yourself is that, what did you do to contribute to it? Usually, we don't do that. Once you're able to find out your bit, whether it's a huge failure, I look at the bit that I contributed and I work on it. So for me, honestly, I struggle to talk about failure because I don't. That for me, it's not even an option. I can't even think about it. But a lot of setbacks, yes, we go through. You plan something, it doesn't go right. So even now, I have this thing where I'm always afraid of the unknown. Because I'm afraid of the unknown, I overplan. It affects me. Even in my marriage, my wife talks about it. I'll tell you an interesting story. In my house, I have provision stock A, provision stock B, provision stock C. When the A gets to this, you push the B to the A, and you push C, and then you restock. My thing is that I'm afraid that one day something will happen, and my kids, my family, will not be able to live the kind of lifestyle they live. So there's always a backup. That's why I always say I struggle to see failure, because everything should be done in such a way that failure is not even, it's not something you should think about.
In the book that I've written, Beyond the Hustle, you share a story of your taxi business, the taxi house, and very interesting story. And in it, you point to the need for research from a point of more pessimism than optimism. I want you to rehash that. I mean, for those who haven't bought the book yet, it's out in the stores and you can get it. But I want you to share that story and how somebody starting a business should learn, what they should learn from that story.
Okay, so let me answer it this way. A lot of people make the mistake. You see, when people have ideas, they tend to become emotional, a lot of sentiment, so they don't see the negatives. The first thing you should do, in my opinion, try and move your emotions out and ask yourself, if Dr. Boahemaa is doing this, will it be successful? Sometimes just try and check with people. Don't ask people who know what you are doing. Ask people who do anything and just check them. So sometimes when you are doing something in your mind, and I think that's why most entrepreneurs fail. They have a great idea, and then they don't sit down and do the math, do the calculation. The assumptions, like I said, they are just too many. So there are a lot of things. I mean, I'm even surprised you even mentioned this taxi thing. So the whole idea for me, so I've done dogs before, and I think that dogs actually gave me a lot.
So that was a dog house.
Dog house. So every business of mine is house. I don't know where that concept came from. So maybe if I should write a book now,
the house
book. So the taxi idea, and I always want to do things differently. I always believe that there's a principle called money begets money. I always believe that quantity, if well managed, will give you more returns than limiting it. So some people do work and pay. They'll just buy one taxi. So the whole idea is that I buy a taxi, I give it to you. You have 1 year or so, I can't remember. Whatever money you are bringing, I buy like 6 taxis. So I take from here, then I buy another one. I take from here. And usually, you don't touch the money you put in the business. You need to turn it around and around. And I did that for a very long time. But the biggest mistake was that a lot of assumptions. I didn't factor the fact that a car beats me up, it can hit. I didn't find that parts can be stolen. I didn't, so even though I thought on paper, I thought
the drivers can be.
Some drivers can even take the parts, go and sell. All those things. Exactly. I didn't factor all that. But so by the time I realized, a bit too late. But the good thing is that I made sure that whatever was left, I sold. At least whatever money I put in it, I made profit. It was okay. I moved on and there.
Wow. Okay, so can you share with us, as an entrepreneur, what is the biggest mindset shift you've had? I know you worked for other people, even though you started this way back in school, you've worked for somebody. Doing your own business or running your own business, what is the biggest mindset shift you've had that you didn't have before you started out on the journey?
Okay, so there's something we call power of apprenticeship. Okay, And I think that's one thing that's lacking with entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs feel that, okay, I have a lofty idea, I can do it and all that. But there's a reason why we have apprentice.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible, prophets had apprentice prophet, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody understudied somebody. So I remember years ago when I started our promotion, I was very happy. And then I met my former Abdul, may so rest in peace, Ntim Jr. I did an event, he was there, and then he wanted to poach me. And I was asking him, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, why do you want to? You also have your opinion. I said, look, David, you need to understudy somebody who knows more than you. Learn so much. Mm-hmm. And then when you are ready and you leave, you know you are actually big for. And the bit that got me to even work for him, one, whatever I was doing was in line with so advertising, marketing, so it still gave me the chance. I had the opportunity to learn. But the bit that got me was that if you want to be the best that you can, you need to learn from people who are also good. What most people are doing, entrepreneurs are doing, they think that, oh, go and listen to somebody, entrepreneur, read his book, and you'll be all right. No, but you need to get...
Big difference.
So I was in for 10 years. I worked in Original Search and Print for 10 years. I rose through the ranks. I learned work politics. I made friends. I learned behaviors, attitude, customer behaviors. And eventually, when I branch out, I was ready. I've had situations where people start raw and they become entrepreneurs. They get to the point, and there's so much, because there are lots of things they don't know.
Yeah.
So they now have to hire people to do all that.
Yeah.
Where I am right now, I can be one man, I can do anything I want to do.
Yeah.
So power of apprenticeship for me was the thing that changed and made me a very successful person. You must learn from people.
Yeah.
Learn the game, learn the trade, add book, add street sense, add all those things, experiences, relationship, and you'll be very good at it. So eventually when you branch off, you're already big for the world.
Fantastic. Before we come to our last important question, let me ask you one that is a bit light. Sitting here, what is that one business, that idea that crossed your mind that now you are happy you didn't do? Is there any such, like you thought about it, this is something, a business that I want to go into, and then, you know, sitting here now, you are thanking God that you did it?
Okay. So there's one business, I can't talk about it now, but there's one business that I don't know whether I'm at the point where I'm thanking God. I think I'm still negotiating with God whether I should go into it or not. So I think you have an idea what it is.
Yeah.
I can even talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, so like I said, find how people want, make them happy, come back again. And I always try to find out their real needs in life, things people take, people are not able to talk about. I go into it. So the biggest thing that I will, if I've had the whole plan, I even rented a place, is selling of sex toys. Now, I'm asking myself, will God be happy? Will people be happy with all that? I get it. But I'm a tither. So I ask myself, God, when I make money, I pay tithe. Will you be okay with my tithe? So I'm still, well, I haven't killed, God hasn't said no yet.
Yes.
So I'm still playing with it.
negotiating.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, I see the
potential.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's unlimited. Quite similar to when I was selling the condoms. There are things people want, but they are not able. So if you can find out what they want, give it to them in a way that makes them happy, you make more money.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want people to know, especially, I think I learned that I think that some people are not able to tell the difference between being effective as an entrepreneur and being efficient. So sometimes people think that once you are doing business, you are making money. You know, but ask yourself the quality of money, the turnaround time. So for instance, if I'm going to spend 10
the opportunity
hours,
cost even to that.
10 hours to make 20,000, and I can spend 1 hour to make 5,000, which I'll take the 1 hour, make
5,000. Yeah.
You know, so there are lots of things you can do.
Yeah.
And I think most entrepreneurs feel that while they are making big money, whether it's taking 100 years, but you have to be efficient. And I think that's one thing that people are missing.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet. I'm still talking to God.
Before we go, and it's been amazing. It's been a very educative and fun. There's that one entrepreneur watching us, or potential, or somebody who has started and is crying, you know, that this is not easy. Some people are at the point where they even want to, you know, close shop and just move on with their lives, or get back to a 9 to 5 because this thing is hard. What would you tell the person? What is that one advice you would give to that person to encourage them to keep going?
I'll use one rhyme. That we all learn. If you
You
try
don't-
and
you
don't
don't
succeed,
succeed,
try
try.
again. You will- Look, nobody asked you to be an entrepreneur. You want to be there. Nobody forced you. Once you get in there, you must survive. Okay, you must take whatever. But, and I tell people something that people sometimes don't seem to. I tell people all the time that if you want to be wealthy in this world, it's simple. There are two simple things. I struggle when people are unable to find it. Two simple things. Concept of giving and fighting. I think most entrepreneurs are not doing it because they downplay these things.
Yeah.
I'm not very religious.
Won't they say it's religious?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not very religious. But it's a universal principle.
Yeah.
I've studied over 7-8 religions: Islam, Shintoism, Buddhism. Giving and tithing, they do it in their own different way. And people who do that stand out.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how much tithe I pay every month, but I can tell an authority that I pay tithe to over 20 churches. Churches I don't even know. I don't even go. But the point is that God says that
Give.
try me and see if I will not pour out blessing from heaven that there may not be room enough. That bit doesn't even excite. The bit that excites as a business person is that I will rebuke the devourer for your sake. Your vineyard will not come before your time. Somebody should say amen.
Amen.
Look at me preaching. But look, it is not, this has nothing to do with Christianity faith. It's basic principle. God is the one. Somebody is helping you succeed. Put in a little and see. And he says, try me and see. If I don't give it, if I don't do it, stop. So I tell people all the time, pay tithe religious for 3 months and tell God, I want this, I want that. If you don't do it, I'll stop. I know only 3 Bible quotations. Only 3. The first one, everybody knows. John 3:6. Everybody knows.
For God so loved the world.
And then I know Malachi 3:8 going. That's why I talked about. Then the last one, Ecclesiastes 5:4. It says that God says, I hate fools.
Yeah.
I hate people who make promises and cannot fulfill. However, if you make the promise and you fulfill it, try me and see if I will not show you how mighty I am. So God, I want to pay tithe. I don't believe the nonsense people are talking about tithe, but I'm going to pay for 3 months. If I pay, and please, when you're asking for God, don't ask for something that's like, I want this man's wife. Don't do that. So ask for something very
that God will sanction.
God, I want to do this. And trust me, leave the rest to him. Do your bit. And I tell entrepreneurs, every entrepreneur I see, I tell them that, look, despite all the things you are doing, you think also, just do these 2 things.
And add it on.
And see what will happen. And I can tell you, Dr. Boahemaa, on authority, nobody has come back. Even in my travel all the way, I tell people that nobody has come back to say that it did not work. Nobody. I can tell you 99.9 it works. Just be religious, give what you have to do. So my advice is that, look, no matter all the things you've learned, God says your vineyard will not come before their time. It means that I will not let your business die prematurely. So what would he do? He will give you opportunity, open doors. He will give you assistance.
I think the next business we start is a church. On that biblical, reverential note, we've come to the end of this episode, and I'm so grateful, Dr. Amoo-Osae, that you came. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I didn't want it to end, but it's fantastic advice. I think you heard it here first. If you start giving and tithing and it's not going well, I will leave his number in the comment section. You can go chase him, but I believe that it will work. And thank you so much. There's so much to learn. Okay.
My last word before I leave, I'm really happy to see this book finally coming to fruition. Let me tell everybody, if you know what this lady has done from Lagos, I got to it from Lagos to now.
The hustle is real.
The hustle. So beyond the hustle, there's something beyond which you have to find out in the book. I will advise everybody, buy this book. And I know it. If you buy it, you don't enjoy it, you don't learn from it, call me.
I'll refund your money.
However, if you
enjoy it,
I need a commission. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you so much. And before you go, let me encourage you. Like, subscribe, share. Let another founder entrepreneur listen to this. I'm sure you have. I was almost going to say I believe you've been blessed, but beyond even that, you've learned a lot. And if you can begin to practice this, I believe that you see a turnaround in your business. The hustle is real, but there's something beyond the hustle. And that's what we are getting at, and that's where we are going to. Thank you so much, David. There will be other master classes where we can have time and go into some of the concepts that you've shared. And I'll definitely be inviting you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye.